Hi guys, in today's video we are going to see how we can set up MailSentry email security and spam filter. For this, you will have to log into your domain manager. In our case, we purchased a domain right on the GoDaddy platform. I will navigate into the DNS settings and here I will be able to set my MX records and the DSPF records. To do that, just configure the default MX record here and add the second MX record that MailSentry uses. Hit save. Last thing is to edit the SPF record by adding the MailSentry SPF record in this line, just right before the end of it. Add the following value. Hit save. Next, we are going to log into the Heimdall dashboard where we can configure the newly purchased domain. You have to navigate in the settings area, click on the perimeter tab and enable email security and spam filter. To add a new domain, you have to click on the add domain button. Here, I'm going to input my domain. I'm going to add the inbound server and I'm going to add the outbound server, which in my case is the Office 365 SMTP server. At the end, save changes and update perimeter settings. To configure all the protection features of the MailSentry email security and spam filter module, you can go back and edit the additional settings, where you can enable inbound verification or outbound verification. In my case, I'm going to configure the DKIM settings. Go back into the domain manager. And I'm going to add my DKIM settings. For the anti-spam settings, I can enable the anti-spam filtering and I can define the score level that I wish. But I can also define the actions taken on the emails. For the rest of the security settings, I can enable advanced threat protection and I can choose the action on detection. For the blacklist or whitelist settings, I can define the email addresses or the domains or the IP addresses. While for the attachment settings, I can define which filtering type suits me the most. In the quarantine settings area, I can choose whether I want to send a personal report to each email owner or whether I want to receive an admin report. Here I can select all the criteria that I want to see in the report. At the end, I will save changes and update perimeter settings. To see the MailSentry email security and spam filter module at work, I will log into my personal email address, and I will send an email to the email address that I've created on my newly purchased domain. Now, if I go back into the Heimdall dashboard, I will have to give it some time. Here is the email that I've just sent from my personal email address to the centiumtest.com email address. Here I can see all the details and the history and the header of the email. To configure the outbound emails within your organization to go through MailSentry email security and spam filter, you have to edit the outbound settings by adding the MailSentry outbound server. In our case, we use Microsoft 365. Log into the Exchange Admin Center, click on Mail Flow, click on Connectors, and create a new connector. Here, I'm going to select Office 365 to Partner Organization. Click Next, give it a name, click Next, select only when I have to transport rule setup that redirects messages to this connector, hit Next, and route email through these smart hosts. The MailSentry smart host is this one. Click Save, hit Next, leave everything default, and hit Next. Next again. Now to validate the connector, simply add your email address. And hit Validate. At the end of the validation process, you will get an email on your email address. Click Close and hit Save. Now, to finish configuring the outbound flow, you will have to define a new rule by creating a new rule. Let's give it a name. Apply the following rule inside the organization. Click on More Options to select the redirect the message to the following connector, and here is the newly defined connector. Hit OK, leave everything else to default, and click Save. Great. Now to test that my emails are going through the MailSentry email security and spam filter module, let's get back to the Outlook profile. and send a new email. Now if you go back into the Heimdall dashboard, give it some time and go in the outbound view. I should be able to see the email that I've just sent to my personal address. I can also see the details of the email with the properties, the history, and the header details. That's it for MailSentry email security and spam filter. I'll see you in the next one.